Hey everyone, Miss Wilkins here for Orchestra Tube. This is Dark Horse, the second violin part, so violin 2 part. This is not a terribly challenging part. It does have some interesting little twists to it. But what I want to say about this piece is that use a simple piece like this to challenge your playing and technically, and really sort of work on your craft as you're playing this, so that'll keep your mind interested and keep you working on your technique. What I mean by that is you're playing some simple things, maybe some repeated notes. You're going to be thinking about how you execute in a very high professional way. So you're going to be thinking about, how can I do this staccato stroke super cleanly and smoothly? How can I execute these dynamics perfectly every single time? Okay, so what we're doing is we're working on high-level ideas and technique while playing something really simple. So this is a technique that professionals use, and it's a technique in life that you can use, that when you have something simple, you're working on the harder aspects of another skill while you're playing or reading something simple, or doing something, whatever you can translate this to, but just keeping your brain active. Okay, we're going to look at the opening of this, and we're going to execute these accents, but we've also got to do grades of dynamics. We've got to do a 4-bar crescendo with all of these things going on. So we're going to be thinking about bow speed, bow contact, and bow weight, which are very complicated or high-level skills. But we're going to play something really simple, okay? So while we're starting, I may start this, I've got to play this accent, but it may sound, crazy. I'm going to do an accent in piano, but you can. And what I would do is I would maybe start with my bow over the fingerboard in a place where I know it's going to, project a little less, and that way I can execute that softly and still do a crescendo or an accent. So here we go. So as I got louder, I got faster with my bow speed, I moved my bow towards the bridge, and I used more weight, okay? All right, so measure 5, again, this is a simple concept, but I often find that for freshmen coming in, staccato is a really hard stroke. You're not used to executing it, okay? So we really want to think robot. Put your bow on your string, just do it on an open D string. And I'm just using my elbow to open and close. I like to add a little finger motion. Gives me a little more bite, okay, but that's a little higher level concept. But if you can just stop that bow, that's the stroke we're looking for, okay? That's what makes it sound more like pop music, makes it more exciting. This is not exciting, okay? I call that, the middle school stroke. Because when you get to high school, this is that we gotta execute these pop tunes really quickly at the beginning of the year. So I want you to be cognizant and aware of this and how it sounds. So here's measure 5. You see, it seems simple, but even I made a mistake, right? So how can you keep your concentration going all the way through that you execute every single note perfectly? That's a skill. Okay, coming up to 13, now we have some little challenging technical details. We've got to play a high 3 right after a 4th finger. And if you notice in the fingering in the part, I have you playing an open A string and then fingering A right after it. And that's because we have that G in measure 14, that we really don't need a string crossing right before it. So it looks like this. Okay, now that's going to challenge some people. I mean, obviously the easy thing you could do, right? The 4th finger there, the first one, the first 2 4th fingers are just absolutely, we just cannot have them, okay? So it has to be 4th finger here. That's non-negotiable, but I could be persuaded to have the string crossing in between them. But I challenge you to challenge yourself to find that fourth finger perfectly in tune, matching your open A. Okay, it does happen in more high-level repertoire where you play an open string and then finger the same note right after it for a specific reason, okay? So this sounds like this. And there's that sigh that I was telling the violas about, where you're gonna use more pressure and ease up on it for an effect as you go through, and it happens again in measure 16. And you go back to your staccatos. Okay, then when you're at measure 21, let me just write in those sighs, because I didn't have them marked in this part. 21, you're going to be executing a large crescendo and decrescendo, so you're going to plan your bow out for that. Okay, I don't like that bowing, I may change that. Okay, and then you should be pretty much home free. Every time you see accents, you really want to make sure you hit them. Okay, don't worry about the harsh sounds underneath your ear. That does not translate out into the audience, so they won't hear that. It's just under your ear. Okay, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks a lot. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.